Welcome! We are back for a really exciting episode today. Now, this is the first ever podcast panel here on the SheSpeaks podcast. Woohoo! We're doing something totally different now moving forward. Now, if you listened to a previous episode, you'll know that this was coming. You'll have anticipated this happening. But the whole point of these panels and the wonderful women that I have with me right now is I want to spotlight them. I want to introduce you to some of the women throughout my journey and continuing on my journey of entrepreneurship and being a woman of business, women that have helped me along the way, changed the trajectory of my life and my business. And these 4 women have done exactly that. So I want to introduce you to Chloe, Annie, JoJo, and Remi. Now, if you can start, because obviously we want to get to know your voice. If you're watching this and you can see us, then woohoo for you, because you're going to know exactly who's speaking. If you're just listening to the audio, I will try and say people's names as much as I can so you can get to know each voice, get to recognise each voice. So what I want you to start with is tell us what you do, tell my audience, tell everyone listening what you do and why you do it. Chloe, do you want to start?
Yes, I will. So hello, everybody. My name is Chloe Ann Collins. So I am also known as the Motivation Mum, and I help highly ambitious mothers reconnect with who they really are beyond the titles, beyond the to-do lists. And we do that through powerful identity work, mindset activation, and embodied coaching to really answer the call that they are hearing that they are made for something more. So my work for busy, highly ambitious mums is not about doing more, it's about being more, stripping back the noise, rewriting the rules, and becoming the woman who can.
Why do you do it, Chloe? Like, what is your why?
Oh, my why is so big. Honestly, after I had my girls, I went through, particularly my second daughter, just a really rough time in motherhood. And I was in corporate at the time, and I've always wanted to be successful. I've always wanted more. And I thought that looked like management and climbing the corporate ladder. And after I had my children, it was like a conversation, a deadbeat conversation in an office that's like, nah, like you're part-time. If you want to put your kids to bed at night, just come up, like do your work, go home. And I was like, what? Like I have to literally choose between putting my kids to bed and being successful? Like surely not. And it just led me on a huge self-development journey. I always say coaching found me. I didn't find coaching. And yeah, like the rest just kind of snowballed from there, really.
Oh, I love it. I love it. I love it. Well, we'll find out, more about you in a bit. Annie, do you want to introduce yourself?
I would love to. So, hello, everybody. I am Annie. You'll know me online as Annie the Osteo. My name's Annie Marie Porter. I am an NLP trainer. I am a business coach, and I help one-woman bands transform into health and wellness brands. I consider myself an expander, and if I am in conversation with you or in a room with you, I can see you for who you are becoming. I have a superpower, a ninja skill of time and fast forwarding where I know you can get to. So through NLP, through belief work, through subconscious rewiring, through business strategy, I bring all the puzzle pieces together to collapse time between where you are and where you want to be. So you can truly build a business that is freedom-based, the truest, most authentic expression of you. So you can transform health, build wealth, and change the world meanwhile.
Oh, you can already tell this room is going to be not just fire, but we've got some fun planned. We've got some real fun planned. Why do you do what you do, Annie?
Why do I do what I do? I do what I do because if I rewind back to my childhood, I was labelled average Annie. I was labelled the girl next door, very average, very middle ground. And I had this fire inside of my belly that I knew there was more I was here to do. And through the craziest of journeys, through the most challenging of times, I have channeled that strength within me. And I have full body shivers right now that we all have. That is that fire and that passion that for so many of us we push down, but with the right support, the right coaching, and the right support and the right sister alongside you who can see you for who you're capable of becoming, anything is possible. So as my journey continues, it's about truly being the change we wish to see, seeing more female leaders rise, and doing the work on ourselves to get out of our own way.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. And that's a key part right there. JoJo, tell us what you do and why you do it.
Hello, I am JoJo. I'm a business mentor, messaging queen. I help people put the heartbeat back into their businesses. So if you feel like you are going through the motions of everyday life, building a business, being a hustler, being like queen of showing up, but you feel like you've lost that heart, you've lost the soul, you've lost the you-ness inside of it, my job is literally to pull you out of yourself and show it to the rest of the world. So that's what I do. I help you embrace being a unicorn in a sea full of like horses, a place where you've decided that you're not special. You've decided that you're not unique. You've decided that you're just one of many. I help you truly come back to being the queen of your industry by being the only person who does what you do like you. And so, yeah, that's what I do. I help you just be more authentic, more yourself, more extra, more too much, and embrace it rather than squashing it and hiding it and pretending you're just like everybody else.
Why? Why does it matter?
Because I spent my life being the person who thought she was too much, being the person who felt like I had to squash my personality down, being the hustler in a business that I didn't love, because it was the way it should be done. I'm like, chuck all of the shoulds in the bin. Let's run it your way with work you're obsessed with, clients you're in love with, stuff that you love teaching on, things that you could yap to 5 people in a room about for like 700 hours. Strap in, everyone listening. We're going to be here now. But it's like helping you really live a life that you don't want to run away from, that you don't want to burn down every 5 minutes, every time you evolve into a different version of who you want to be today. And it's just about creating yourself and things that you're completely in love with, that you never want to stop showing up for. Like for me, this isn't about, I mean, yes, being a billionaire, but why not? But it's not about doing it for, because I have to, because I should, because I'm chasing, because if I don't, I'm not going to be good enough. It's about having the most fun, living your best life, and like truly just living every single day by having the time of your life instead of chasing a milestone to feel good enough. So that's why I spent too long fannying about doing all of the shit the way that I should do it, because it's the way I thought it should be done. And I kicked it all to the curb, chucked it all in the bin, and decided I literally just get to live my life my way every single day, and it feels fun as fudge to do that. So
yes,
that's why.
We love that. Burn the book, burn the rule book, literally rewrite the script, do whatever the fuck you want. Remi, tell us, what do you do and why do you do it?
Wow, trying to put this into one line is going to be hard, but we'll go for it. So I am Remi, and I basically build brands that look like art, feel like truth, and just sell on demand. And I am the woman behind the most disruptive brands on the internet. And I own Disrupt, which I'm sure many of you have heard. And I am the person that will hold you to your creative frequency and put you into that power and never let you go, so that you can just have so much fun and build a brand that is so truthful to you that every single person knows you for, because it's so unique.
Oof, yeah. Why do this work?
I do this work because a business without a brand lacks so much heart and soul, and that is exactly what people buy into. And so without that creativity and that edge and that like differentiator factor that has come from your stories, your background, then you're only going to get so far. And I done that with my own business, and I was like stuck in the let's look the same as everyone else. And now I've went so far into Disrupt, my business is booming.
Yeah. Ooh. Ooh, literally every single like word that you guys have spoken in the last like 10 minutes, my heart is like just on fire. I'm so grateful that you are here, that you've given up your time, and that you're sharing your absolute golden energy and wisdom and everything on this episode. So I want to play a little bit of a game before we get into anything too crazy and serious. I want this to be fun. I want you to literally feel like we're in a hotel together, a hotel room with some champagne, some strawberries, some chocolate, some snacks, and this is game time. Are you ready for some fun?
No, I'm really competitive.
Me too, JoJo, sorry.
Awesome. Okay, well, it's not that sort of game.
Oh.
What, we can't win?
Damn it.
You might win in your own mind, but I'm not keeping score or anything. There isn't a benchmark or a scoreboard.
We're all winners here.
Everyone is a winner, yeah. It's called overrated versus underrated.
Ooh.
So it's a little bit more of a conversational game in the sense of you might disagree on some things. Let's get it going. So I'm going to give you 8, maybe 9, we'll see how we go, different things. I'm going to say it and I want you to tell me whether you think it's overrated or underrated. All right. First one, vision boards. JoJo?
Me first. You guys are going to hate me. Overrated.
Remi?
Overrated.
Annie?
Underrated.
Underrated. Underrated.
I can tell me and Remi are going to agree, and Annie and Chloe are going to agree every time.
Why is it overrated, JoJo?
To me, I don't know. I don't care where I am in like 5-10 years time. I don't care where I'm going to be in a year's time, 6 months. For me to put something on a piece of paper to visualize it in 5 minutes, I'm over it. I've gone there, I've gone above it. Like I remember I did, and you guys are going to be like, you're not doing it right. But I remember like when I was a kid, well, not a kid, maybe when I was like 18, I was like, right, I'm going to do a vision board. And on my vision board, I put like, I don't know, like a Mercedes Benz. And I was like pregnant and I had a marriage on and it was like stuff that, and I think it's because I didn't connect. I didn't really care about it. I don't care if I have a Mercedes. I actually don't give a shit. But in that moment, it was like the stuff that I thought in my bones was what I really wanted. Honestly, I don't give a shit about now. And I think I've really, because I'm not a chaser of dreams in the way that I used to be, I'm like, I don't put something on a piece of paper because I don't know what it looks like, because what I want, I can't even picture right now in 10 years time. Do you know what I mean? It's always going to go above and beyond. So I love it to be like a cute activity, but I'm too indecisive about what I want or care about. And so in 5 minutes time, I'm a different person. I'll need a new vision board. That's mine.
I can literally, Annie's like,
no, everyone's
Yeah,
gonna switch.
Chloe's trying not to leave the call.
No, do you know what? Like, I think I'm like a fair split on like knowing what works for other people doesn't work for everyone. Like I say this to my clients because I love the intention behind it, but I agree, like since I started my journey from nothing to now, like I wouldn't even know what is possible for me when I first make the vision board. So I get what JoJo's saying there, because as you grow and evolve, you're like, okay, that actually doesn't matter anymore, and this really does. Or like, oh my god, I never thought that would be me, I never would have put it on there. So I think like I love the intention behind vision boards, and like I don't make them like 5-10 years in advance. I make them in a shorter timeline because I'm always growing, and I realize now how rapidly I grow that things change and you pivot in different directions. So it's more like I do it from a place of like core things. Like I use the wheel of life for like experiences with my family and stuff like that. And then, yeah, like more specific, you can literally make them like quarterly.
Yeah.
Well, I love that. I love it. I mean, I expected this to be controversial. So let's keep going. Number 2, reading business and self-development books.
Oh,
Remi.
I'm too busy for that. I have a bookshelf back here.
Chloe's like,
I
absolutely
listen
not.
to them. I love them, but I have to listen. I've realized I have to listen to them, particularly in the season that I'm in, where my kids are young and I'm building my business, that it's like I try to be like, yeah, but you have to make time. But realistically, like, listening to them is best for me.
So overrated. Or listening,
Actual
not
reading
reading.
part, like, I will listen to them and I do get a lot of value from some of them. Yeah.
All right. Annie?
Reading books, overrated. Taking action on knowledge that you absorb and making moves, underrated.
Awesome. Remi?
Are we classing reading, listening, and like learning as one, or is it a physical reading?
Consuming business and self-development in some form or another, like books, podcasts, audio, etc.
Underrated.
JoJo?
okay. I'll answer it plainly, but can I give you underrated if I'm me 3 years ago? Overrated me now, because I think what can happen for a lot of people is they get too far into, kind of like what Annie was saying, get too far into consumer mode, that they forget that they have their own brain with their own thoughts that can actually change the world. And we start to not trust our own voice and our own opinions because we think we have to fact check it against another book, or we haven't learned enough, so we have to go. I mean, says the Queen, with quite literally a rainbow of a bookshelf of about maybe 100 odd books that are all self-development. I love self-development, business, all of these books, but the best thing you can do if you want to go learn something, go and listen to your own podcast episode, your own training that you did 3 months ago, your own Instagram live that you did a few months ago, because that will give you more confidence, more knowledge, more wisdom, I think, than a business book ever could. Because the self-trust game, the intuition game, it's like whenever you're feeling a bit lost, instead of going to a business training or a business book, come home to yourself for a second and watch how fast your confidence comes back. So,
yeah, I like that perspective a lot. I think I kind of agree. I think reading, I love reading. I love listening to things, but knowledge isn't power unless you actually use it.
Yeah.
It's only powerful if you're going to use it. 100%. All right. Personal branding, hashtag because it's trending. Overrated or underrated? Remi?
Oh God. It's very, because it's trending. I don't know which one it is, but everyone needs a better personal brand. So whatever that one is, that overrated or underrated?
It's underrated.
Yeah, like more.
Like, you need to be doing it. People aren't doing it enough.
No, not at all. Like everyone is just ChatGPT now, and I feel like it's the ones who really, again, back to like create and do things differently and build a personal brand around what they are good at and how they are good at it and how like much fun you can have with it, are the ones that are gonna like fly through everyone on this space.
Yeah, doing it properly, massively underrated, right? Annie, personal branding.
I'm going to come straight in.
Overrated, underrated.
Yeah, underrated. I just feel that we all have a personal brand, whether we like it or not. Whether you are behind a business, in front of a business, leading a business, whether you have a personal brand-based business, you are the person, you are the energy behind your brand. And if you are just hiding behind a logo, a color palette, and a nice name that you co-created with an AI bot, it's lacking substance and lacking heart, like Remi shared. So I think we all need to realize we all have a personal brand, and it's just then the strategy of, are you leading with that people by people, or are you positioning that alongside a standalone brand that's going to give you some more freedom and legacy as you go through life?
Yeah, go on, Remi.
Yeah, that's a really good point as well, because where I'm like branching out and I'm going to have disrupt Instagram, that's less personal brand, more showcasing of work, and then Remi is more personal brand. So I also think it depends on your business, and if you want to like be behind it and have the company, or if you want to always be known as your personal brand.
Yeah, I guess personal brand gives you an element of freedom, but also an element of challenge, I guess, in a sense.
Yeah, people are always going to be buying into your growth. Like trends will come and go, but people will never ever stop. Like Mel Robbins is such a good example of this. Everyone wants to buy into like her and her children and her family and her lifestyle, and so she'll never go out of fashion because you're buying into that.
Yeah. Chloe.
Yeah,
Overrated,
I love the personal brand piece. Like, I think it's so important to show up as authentically you. Like, the work I do is identity. But when it comes to like the trending stuff, like, I think you asked about like trending, didn't you? I think like what I see personally is like you're trying to show up online as authentically you, like doing your own thing, and then this trend comes out, and then like I have clients that like they're like, oh, I don't really want to do the whole dancing, singing on Instagram thing, so does that mean that I'll never be able to go trending, or I'll never be able to go viral? So I think like the trends that are out there, like definitely jump on those if they feel like you feel called to do it, but don't feel like you have to be trending just for your personal brand. Like, your personal brand is who you are, your identity, and people will buy into you so much more, not just because you did the crazy trend that's going on, just because you show up as you, because people can see through it when you're not being who you're meant to be. And you don't have to be the loudest one in the room, the one that sings and dances on Instagram if you don't want to. Like, you can still have a personal brand being the version of you that you are.
Yeah. JoJo, overrated, underrated?
Underrated. The concept, the trend of owning a personal brand, I think Remi will agree with this one, is like it's overrated in terms of everyone is calling them like a brand or a personal brand, or everyone's jumping on the terminology. But I think the meaning behind the terminology of you are a personal brand. Everyone is a personal brand. And it's how intentionally are you actually leveraging that in your social media. And I think the problem is coming in where people are leveraging the idea of a personal brand without, I'm going to say, tailoring it to you as a human being. And so they say, yeah, I'm being a personal brand. And then they go and like, I don't know, do something that's not them. And that's, like Chloe said, we can see through it. And especially as women, right? We know, we're intuition, right? We can sense when someone's not being them, they're not being themselves. And you can have an element of like, I think with the online space, you naturally exaggerate who you are as a human being when you come and present yourself online, whether that's like, you're quite straight shooting and you come even more straight shooting, or you're quite dramatic and bubbly and chaotic and you suddenly become even more of that. It's like you can almost curate a persona in a way, but if it's too out of whack with who you actually are as a human being, it gets hard and heavy to show up for. People can feel it. And so even if you've got a personal brand that's not even a little bit you, it feels a bit off. I mean, consider Paris Hilton, her personal brand when she was younger. It's like when you see her now as a human being, you're like, well, that is not even a little bit you. But it worked because she was intentional with the way that she presented herself. And so I don't think it needs to be exactly who you actually are behind the scenes. But I think when there's that layer of truth in it, then the authenticity can shine through, and your personal brand will sell, you as a human being will sell so much more than any perfectly positioned logo or like aesthetic ever could. And we can sniff when it's not you being who you actually are behind the scenes in that way. Like, we can sniff if you're like coming online and trying to be somebody you're not. And it's why even things like, if you're a yapper, go do talking head reels, go be on like Instagram stories, go live all the time. If you're more behind the scenes, you like blogging, then yeah, be the carousel queen and like give us the blog post. But and like lean into who you actually are, instead of trying to like come on and be this personal brand in the way that the internet has created the idea of personal brand to be something that is just not even a little bit who you actually are as a human being. So yeah.
Yeah. All right. Couple of quick fires. matcha lattes, overrated, underrated?
Overrated. What is that grass dirt milk?
Underrated.
I love
So
them.
underrated.
The key is coconut milk.
Yeah.
Coconut milk.
Yeah.
Weak matcha, 1 scoop.
So underrated that I have just ordered a subscription service that gets delivered to my door every single week with matcha because I was buying that much in the shop.
Remi, I want to know which one you have.
Yeah, please.
I had my matcha latte out of like, I was so curious. I was like, how have I not tried one of these? It was last week, ordered it. Very expensive, I will say. Got it. Had the first sip, looked over at my husband like, this is surely made wrong. And he was like, no, that's what it tastes. And it was with coconut milk. And it was.
Do you put vanilla syrup in it?
It had a load of vanilla syrup. And even so, it was, yeah, no, not for me. Not for me.
Gemma, we must have your opinion on this.
Yeah.
Underrated or overrated? I think they're slightly overrated in the sense of, again, they're like hashtag trending. And I do want to try a strawberry matcha latte. That seems to be like the in thing, especially over here anyway in Oz. But I quite like them. So I think they're underrated. I think you just got to know how to.
You're wrong. You're all incorrect.
People make them wrong. I had one before with the 3. It's disgusting. You have to have it weak.
Yeah, and you got. I like it with coconut milk best.
Yeah.
You know, definitely.
Next time we meet up, get me a matcha and we'll decide.
Yes.
All right, make it a good one, Remi. I'm holding you responsible for that. Overrated or underrated? Solo travel.
Annie, look at your face.
Go on, Annie, take it away, baby.
Underrated to the nth degree. I adore travel with my family, my partner, the girls, like you guys. It's incredible. There is something that happens to your soul when you solo travel. The ability to tune into your voice in what you truly desire without having the voices of those around you, even if it's one person where you're co-deciding every move you make. The freedom to get up and just pour into yourself and receive is unmatched. You will learn so much about yourself when you get on that plane. So underrated.
Chloe?
I'm with Annie. Like, honestly, I have 2 kids. So, like, when we travel, we tend to travel together. But this year, I am traveling alone because we all went to America last year. My best friend ended up coming with me. But this year, I'm actually going alone and I can't wait. Like Annie said, just to like not wake up in the morning and be like, what time do you want to go for breakfast? Like you say, like everything is a kind of joint decision. Even if you're the one deciding, you've still got someone else in mind. And I'm so excited to just travel alone. So underrated, especially for us mums. No one's touching me. I don't need to take anyone for a wee, and no one's eating my snacks.
Remi, JoJo?
Yeah, I think underrated. I think everyone's starting to do it a lot more, which is good. 5 years ago, I feel like it wasn't really a thing, or maybe I'm just growing up. But I do definitely find that I have really found out who I am this year, last year, and now in September I'm going to America like twice. So
Amazing.
I think it's going to be. It is what Annie said. I love what you said. You sort of hit the nail on the head of sitting on that plane does things to you when you're looking out of that window and you're like really thinking about, well, this is me on my own doing this. And I'm flying literally 10, 11 hours. Like to Costa Rica, that was long. That was 4 different planes. A plane that I didn't even think that I would make it out alive. And in that moment, you do think, wow, like I would never have done this when I was probably, or if you said to me, would you be doing this at 28? And I would say no. And yeah, I definitely think it's the confidence in yourself that you find on those planes.
JoJo?
I felt the same when I went to America before meeting all of you guys. It's the first time that I've ever done anything like that. I've never traveled to a different country on my own. I'd never got on a plane on my own. I'd never done anything like that on my own. And it was like, I remember stepping off that plane, fully being like, holy shit, I'm the lead in a movie. And like, it felt like I got off that plane and I was like, there is a whole world that's just opened up for me in ways that I will never be able to describe. And then the second time I did it, I thought, yeah, I've nailed this now. Like, I am the queen of solo travel. And then I went to Mexico on my own. And this was like truly on my own. I wasn't going to meet like you guys that I kind of knew. I knew I was meeting Remi at the airport. So I was like comforted by that. When I went to Mexico, I got off the plane, had a panic attack in the airport, ended up staying in departures for 4.5 hours, waiting for another plane to just get straight home, because I was so, like, I am so codependent. It's hard to make decisions on my own. Like, do I do this? Do I do that? Do I get in this taxi? Are they going to kidnap me? Like, who knows? And it just all got like, oh shit, I actually don't think I can do this again. And so now that I'm 30, everyone's like, woohoo. Now that I'm 30, I've got like 6 countries I'm traveling to in the space of like 2 months next, in like end of this year. And so this is my goal, is to be able to like do it and not have a panic attack. No, but I think it's needed. You've got to gain that confidence, that trust. I think you're right, Annie put it just so beautifully, but it's that confidence, trust, intuition, decision making, being okay being on your own, something new behavior for me, like all of that together, I think will just make you grow as a human being. So I'm excited to do even more of it this year, and can't promise no panic attacks, but I can promise to tell a good story about it on stage one day.
Heck yes. I think solo travel is massively underrated. Being the weirdo that always used to do things on her own, like in my early 20s when everyone was like clinging to each other. And I was like, oh, I'm just going to go to Thailand 2 weeks time. Massively underrated. All right. Talking to camera, underrated or overrated? Jojo?
Yeah, I'm like, can I go first? Underrated. I think it is the easiest way to connect your personality to somebody else's, to connect soul to soul, not just like, oh, visibility, I'm going to get on camera and be like a show pony, but like to actually connect with someone face to face. Nobody does enough of it, including me. I used to be the queen of it. It was like the reason my business grew way back when, in my fitness business. Probably every day, but every single week I would do a talking head reel. And that built my business. It got me known. It was like instant recognition. People knew my face, my name, you know, that I was going to spout some gold to them. And it flexes that muscle that not enough coaches flex nowadays, which is your ability to just yap. I think with the rise of ChatGPT, with the rise of people telling you exactly what to say and which hook and how to say it and blah, 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 like, I actually think that even doing something like this with you guys right now, it's like, if you are not getting used to just going and speaking, stuff like this will be impossible. And stuff like this will get you clients, it will get you recognition, it will get you visibility, it will build your business, it will build your brand, but it will also build your confidence as a coach. So big fat underration station.
Remi?
Yeah, I agree. Underrated. You just said it very well, Jojo. But I know I could definitely do it more. I think everyone knows that they could do it more. And it's funny, I was thinking about this the other week. People think it takes so much time, when realistically,
it doesn't.
It really doesn't.
Quicker.
Yeah.
It's longer.
The thing that takes time is the overthinking about what I need to say and how I'm going to say it, and the confidence, like the build up to it, the anticipation. It's like actually doing it. 2 minutes to make a post.
Yeah.
It's the editing that I think like takes a lot. Like, I get impatient waiting for captions, but I can grab my phone and just start talking like nothing. Chloe, underrated, overrated?
Underrated. Yeah, like the clients that I work with that are online or building like their side hustles and things like that, it's underrated. Like the girls have just summed it all up, really. It's the best way. Like, when I go to someone's Instagram account, if I'm looking for value or I'm looking to hire them or buy something from them, I'm scrolling until I find them, until I see a video of them with their voice, because sometimes you click and you're like, oh, it's a voiceover, oh, like it's an audio. Like, I want to see the person. So I think that really is like, that's the window into you, and that's where people can overthink it. Just, there's no right way, just come on and be you. And my journey started from challenging myself January 2nd, like, just post a video, and I did it. And from that point on, like, you know, your confidence comes along the way.
Yeah, definitely. Annie?
Massively underrated. And the reason why, when we are face to camera, there's nowhere to hide. You are simply there. Like all of your habits, your twitches, the way you say things is exposed. And so many people avoid this because they are avoiding the pain of seeing themselves and truly witnessing who they are. The work is actually being able to show up, to speak your truth, to remove the filter, to allow yourself to be a channel for the truth that you're here to share. And face to camera is how you can communicate that in the most organic way. And if we can collapse time between an idea landing and remove all of the editing, literally and metaphorically, that we go through, that is when you are going to lead a movement, because you are literally channeling your gifts. So for me, I will download, put my camera in this ring light, record it, trim off a little bit of the side bits, post it with a trending audio, and it can reach the masses. So massively underrated.
Love that.
Yes. Yeah. Underrated in capitals. And we literally sat here. If you're watching the visual, you'll see this. If you're listening to the audio, you need to know we are literally sitting here like nodding dogs, like as each person's speaking. All right, 2 quick last ones. Sparkly microphone, crying on stage. Underrated, overrated on those 2 things. Sparkly microphone first. Underrated, overrated.
Wait, what? Sparkly is in like Taylor Swift Eras Tour sparkly microphone.
She's like, holy shit.
She's like, where do I get
give me
this?
the Amazon
Sorry, send me the link.
Yeah.
Thank you. Well, underrated immediately. Sparkly microphone, yes, please. Thank you so much. But I also think if you're not a sparkly microphone kind of gal, then obviously overrated. Use your black microphone. Use the camera. Like, don't care. But underrated for me 100%. The second one, what was she? Crying on stage.
Crying on stage.
I cried 3 minutes into this podcast recording. Don't know if any of you spotted it. I already cried. Big fat crier over here. I will cry on stage. I don't think that it loses or it makes you less powerful, makes you less of an authority. Everyone has this idea that like vulnerability is a weakness. I also think the opposite of like vulnerability doesn't mean go cry on stage and make everyone feel sorry for you. I think there's power in being able to share the lesson from the story or whatever. But like, I'm an emotional wreck. Let me share it with the world. I'm good. In fact, I'm not an emotional wreck. I'm emotionally agile. So suck it to anyone who isn't. No. But I think, yeah, be who you actually are. If you need to cry, let it out, baby doll. I'm here for you. And if it makes other people feel uncomfortable, that's a them thing that they get to work through. Like, you're welcome for the gift.
Remi, sparkly microphone, underrated, overrated?
I agree. If you want to get known for the sparkly microphone brand, go for it. I actually think it's a genius thing, because every time someone will see the sparkly microphone, they're going to think of you. And I don't see anyone doing that. So anyway,
I was going to say, I want to know who's got a sparkly microphone.
I used to have a mic sleeve. It had like rhinestones on it. It's great.
Yes.
JoJo needs one of them. But yeah, I actually do think it's a very powerful move to get known for that. Crying on stage, I agree. I think if it's coming from like I need to cry to get the audience's attention, not a bit of me. If it's like, no, this is going to make me cry because it's something that is very deep to me, let it out, because that emotion is going to be powerful. So I also think it depends what you're speaking about, who you are, and how it comes out when you say it.
Yeah. Chloe, are you getting yourself a sparkly microphone?
You girls know I love sequins. Like any excuse to wear sequins, like trousers. I literally was wearing sequin trousers 2 days ago. So yeah, I'm here for the glitter, the pink, all of the things. But yeah, like authentically you, as the girl said, like do what makes you feel great and like fuck everyone else, basically. Like if you want to do it, do it. Like and that was a big thing for me, because I spent so long like trying to fit in, like trying to just be like, oh right, I'm a coach and she's a coach and she does that, so I should probably do that. And then you're like, but she does that. And like I spent a lot of time like trying not to do that, and I realized it was because I was just trying to fit in with everybody else, to be seen, to be accepted. And then I realized like actually the point is not to fit in, it's to stand out. So I think, yeah, if you want the sparkly microphone and that feels great for you, then sing into it with pride.
What about crying on stage?
Oh, I'm like JoJo, I'm a crier, like every masterclass, some lives, like I just feel my emotions. And you know what? Sometimes like I try to hold it in, because I've definitely cried when I've like not wanted to cry before, and I'm trying to like tap into myself and not cry. But I think like if it's coming from a place of authenticity, and in the work that we do, like we're sharing stories, we're sharing experiences, like, and they're powerful. So if it's coming from that place, like don't try and hold it in, like let it out if you need to, but in like a controlled way, you know. Like sometimes I feel like I have to practice first. But yeah, and I think you'll know, like I used to tell stories that I'd cry about, and now I can tell them in a really powerful way, because like I've moved through them and I've healed from them. So yeah.
That's exactly why we rehearse our stories as well.
Yes, there we go, Gemma. I love the authenticity as well, when you see people really feel their emotions. Like I think it's so much more powerful.
Annie, sparkly microphone, crying.
I mean, the microphone, if it's on brand, if it's a representation of you, I'm all for it. If you're just doing it because you think you should, then I'm not for it. Be a navy and gold rhinestone microphone, I will purchase it all day long. If we're going for the glitter and the pinks, not my vibe, hence the top. So that's my take on that. Crying on stage, I feel this very much depends on your intention, the emotion you're trying to communicate, the impact you're trying to have, what's the purpose of your talk. I've watched Gemma's masterclass, so I'm not a pro about this thing, by the way. So it's very much about what is the intention behind your words. If you're wanting to connect, if you're wanting to really show all the sides of you, if you're wanting to really allow yourself to be a channel like I shared, of course, like I've cried during speeches, and it's added to the rawness and the vulnerability and the connection in that moment. If you're doing it for a reason, if you're doing it and it's not necessarily matching the kind of vibe you want to be sharing, then not sure. So it's very much letting yourself be you, be authentic. And if that's something that connects in that moment, then by all means.
Yeah.
Like if you this is a fun game. Go on, what?
I was going to say, if you can't get through the speech because you're like, then that message is probably not something you should have been sharing on stage in the first place. It's like anything that you're sharing on stage tends to be something that you've moved through, worked through, something that you want to gift the world with. And that usually doesn't come from like a kind of, I'm not going to say trauma dump, but do you know what I mean? It's like something that still may be quite painful or raw for you to share, but like, you best believe I'm going to have a little tear rolling down my face, like an adorable little ding, 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 as I'm telling a story, because it's just the movement of it. But yeah, anyway, sorry, I'll shut up. Next one. Next.
Well, that was like, that game actually took far longer than I anticipated. But I feel like we had some good conversations throughout that. So that was cute. All right. I would love each of you to think about the craziest idea you've ever had that turned out to be right. An idea or something you said, something you did that people were like, what on earth? Or that even you were like, have I lost my actual mind? But you stuck with it and it turned out to be the right idea. Who wants to share one?
Oh, I've got loads.
Yeah.
Where shall I start?
Remi, give it to us.
Launching a retreat with no proof that it might work and no idea if anyone's going to sign up. Definitely one. Launching an in-person event in London for 50 people without any idea that it might work and doing it is a second.
And selling it out.
Yeah.
Let's not forget that part.
Yeah, I think in person for me is a huge one because it's so out of my comfort zone and so different to what I built this business on. I literally have built it behind a screen, so then taking that and putting it in real person with humans that I can touch with no proof of anything. Yeah, I don't even have words. It's been a wild ride.
I love that. Has anyone else got a crazy idea that turned out?
Mine's less of an idea and more of a memory, in the sense of like, what is the story that you want to tell? When we were all due to go to Florida last September, and I was stepping out of my door, about to close the front door to go to the airport and meet Remi, the event was cancelled. And in that moment, I decided the story that I wanted to tell in that moment was not one of it cancelled the end. I wanted to live a story I was proud of. So I called BA, said, what is the deal? This flight takes off in 3 hours. Do you have any seats? What's going on? And they replied with, Annie, there is one seat on Dubai. Do you want it? You've got to decide in the next 3 minutes. And in that moment, all of the feels came up and I was like, okay, let's do it. And I was walking through the airport like, what on earth am I doing? This is an extra trip. What is going on? I'm going solo travel again, a country I've never been to, don't speak the language, don't even know the culture. And it turned out to be one of the most expansive, iconic transformation experiences of my entire life, where I literally felt the presence of, call it what you want, the universe. And that has shaped so much of what I'm doing right now. So that for me was a crazy idea that made no sense to anybody, where everyone around you saying no way, and you go for it anyway. And that is a story I would.
And you literally called me and you said, I'm going to Dubai. And I was like, what do you mean you're going to Dubai? And you were like, yeah, I'm getting on the flight in like 3 hours. And I was like, what?
I remember this. You were staying in your vision board hotel, right? Like you literally ticked off a vision board.
And you said they're overrated.
Yes. I mean, yeah, tying back to that first point around vision boards, and I appreciate this is towards the end, I want to just pop this in here. Having that on there, I can tell you now, is just an iconic moment. When you see it in front of you and you're there, stood there, you think, former me dreamt of this moment. And again, vision boards for me are like the push and the pull. So many of us are moving away from what we don't want, and the fear drives us. The vision board is the pull towards what you do. And there was a part in that moment that said, Annie, Dubai's on your vision board. Are you going to let that pass you by, this opportunity, or are you going to go for it? And that pull towards the life and vision I had was what dictated part of that decision-making process. So vision boards are underrated, guys.
I think having like flow to it as well, though, of like that flexibility of like, this could be, rather than, because I think what happens with me is I go, well, now I'm boxed into that exact photo. And it's like, obviously I know that that's not true, but like in my mind, I'm like, yeah, but if the thing doesn't look exactly like that, then it's wrong. And do you know what I mean? So I think it boxes me in, but maybe I'll do a more of an idea vision board. Actually, saying that, I literally have words on a piece of paper up there that are like things that I want to do this year. So maybe I do vision boards, just not in the bougie way.
Yeah, and I think some people,
Yeah, that is. It's still a visual, isn't it? It's still you literally seeing.
Vision boards are overrated.
I think they are. But
Stick by what I said.
Like, you know, you can get like, I done this, and Annie, I remember when we first had this conversation, was like, if it doesn't happen, then you're disappointed, versus there's a vision board and like use it to fuel you forward. Yeah. I think some people are so fixated on like, if I don't hit that and that, then I'm a failure.
Yeah.
But I do.
It's like not gripping it, is it? No. It's like just seeing it and putting yourself in the scenario, rather than like holding on to it for dear life.
Chloe, and maybe when you do it, I love your vision boards.
Ooh, you have to do like a little
just doing it wrong.
Yeah. We're just losers that can't get it right. But I think as well, it's the time, releasing the timeline on it as well. It's like maybe not doing like, okay, it has to be this year, but like, this is what I want, and I'm gonna stop at nothing to like get to the point where it feels really good. To keep us back on track, I'll very quickly tell you my big life-changing moment that was like a crazy idea. Back in, it was probably around lockdown, I burnt down my 6-figure business to the literal ground. £0, 0 pence income with 6 figures worth of expenses in a business that I no longer loved. And that was, to this day, people tell me that was so stupid. Why did you do that when everything was going so well? Like, that feels like a complete backwards move. And this is a repeated thing that's happened in all of my life, quitting dance and moving on to something different. All the big decisions I've ever made in my life have turned out to be the most scary decisions, have always been the ones that were the most right. It just doesn't always feel like that in the moment. It was a really sad time for me, of like a lot of grieving. People thought I was pregnant, because I was like, a big change is happening in my life and I'll tell you about it soon. And do you know what I mean? I was so cryptic about it, but it's like, it was that big for me that it was a complete identity rewire. It was a complete shift. And so what I really want to bring out of that is like, if you are sitting on a decision that you're not making because it's a little bit too unknown, too scary, too big, way too delusional, everyone's telling you it's not right. If you feel like it's right in your bones, stop waiting on it. Because I wasted a good year sitting in a job that I hated. It cost me a lot of my friendships. It cost me almost my relationship. It cost me so much time, energy, money, health. I was like having panic attacks every single day in this business. It will cost you everything just to what? Have a 6-figure business? Like, no thanks, hon. And so if you're on the edge of a decision, I don't care what decision it is, but if you're thinking about doing something and you're holding yourself back from it, stop it, is what I'll say. Stop it. No, but really, like, go and take the leap. I don't care in what direction it's in. You know whether it's the right move or not. And if you're pretending it's not the right move because of what other people say or what you already know instead of what could be the unknown is always going to be better, because you'll always make the right decision, because you'll make it the right decision regardless. So you'll never make the mistakes. Like, go make whatever move you make next the best decision you could ever make for yourself.
Powerful. Chloe, what about you? Have you had a crazy idea or done something crazy that actually turned out to be the right choice?
Loads. I think when I first started like my journey, I really started, like I said, I had a really rough time coming out of having my second daughter. I was told like I had severe postnatal depression, like I was getting therapy, and at that time I made a decision that really made no sense. I was coming off maternity leave, like I was not sleeping, I was really struggling, and I decided to invest in myself. And at the time, it was like half a month's salary, like maternity pay, like I've got bills to pay, I've got kids to feed, all of this kind of thing. But I really just saw myself in that moment and thought, yeah, like I'm gonna make this decision, and I don't know why, like I just felt like I had to. And I went on a retreat. I went on Annie's retreat and it was just incredible. And it was really like that moment, like I always say, like the retreat was absolutely incredible, but it was so much like less about what I actually learned, and it was about who I became by turning up, walking in those doors. I knew nobody. I didn't even know Annie at the time, and I was so nervous. I had to leave my kids at home. I didn't even tell my partner how much the retreat cost, because like now it seems not that big of a deal. I've made way bigger investments, but at the time, like I could have had a designer handbag arrive through my front door. Like I pressed pay and nothing was gonna come. So I was like, oh my God, I felt sick for like 3 days. But sometimes you have to make the big and scary decisions, because it's those big and scary decisions, it's seeing yourself, it's trusting yourself, that is going to allow you to grow and evolve and expand yourself for the life that you are meant to have. And like from that small decision that I made, like at the time it felt huge, but that led me to then make another decision and another decision and another decision. And like now I quit my job. Like I have my own business now. I'm like around way more for my kids. I'm the happiest version of me, the healthiest version of me. Like so much can come. Like don't underestimate how much will come from making one crazy decision. Like trust yourself, because you do not know what is going to come as a result of that.
Yeah, definitely. The biggest risks are, or when you take the biggest risks, that's when you can gain the biggest rewards.
Yeah, and you can't fail. Like it's not win or lose, like, it's win or learn. Like I would not have failed. I could have turned up to that retreat and thought, okay, this is a load of old tosh, you know, I'm not doing that again, and I'll go find something else. But you know, I didn't. But there will be decisions that you'll make and be like, oh, okay, this wasn't really for me, but you're going to learn along the way as well. So like every, you know, an indecision is still a decision, guys. Like if you're not deciding, you're deciding not to decide.
Yes. Oh my goodness.
What about you?
Pause for a moment. Has anyone got a shoot, or can you give me 10 more minutes? If anyone's got to go, say.
No, I'm good.
All good here.
No. All right. Well, you're in for a treat, gang. We've got a bit longer. Go on, Jojo. What are you gonna say?
I was going to ask, what's yours? I want to know yours.
Yes.
I'm in Australia now, but
Craziest idea that turned out to be right. Christ, I don't know.
Moving across the world has to be one.
yeah.
Yeah, it's
That is
hard,
red.
isn't it? Because I never thought it was crazy.
It definitely feels crazy. Like,
I think that's so interesting though, that it to everybody else in the world, because we've had this conversation of you being like, it doesn't feel even like worth celebrating because it just feels like, well, obviously I was going to do that. Like me doing my food shop this week.
Yeah.
Not that I do it, my husband does it, I would know. But it's like, it really felt like just that this is who I am. And I think this is how good you are at evolving and then embodying the new identity. Evolving and embodying the new identity. It's like you don't even take a beat to be like, holy fluff balls, I've just moved, what, 70 billion miles away? I don't know how many.
long way.
Yeah, it's a long way. It's a really, and it's a long way. And then when you're here, you're like, oh shit, it really is far, like from anywhere. It takes forever to get anywhere. Apart from Bali, it takes me like 3 hours to get to Bali. But
we should have a group retreat in Bali. Okay.
Yeah.
But Gemma, do you think that there's a past version of you that would think that was a huge and scary decision? Do you think it's
No. I think there's a past version of me that was like, this is really exciting, we're going to do this one day. But I literally don't think I have any concept of like the magnitude that people see it as. Like, I get it, it's a big thing, but like, I don't see it as a big, but I also, when you look back over my life, I've traveled and I've done jobs here and everywhere. And, you know, I bought a house and then not even 2 months later, I got offered a job in Hong Kong. And I was like, great, cool, see you in a minute. Like, I just left. It's just so, I think, I don't look at things like that the same way. I'd say maybe the craziest idea I've ever had was thinking, I want to be a Disney princess. Yeah, I could do that. And then continuing to just keep auditioning again and again until she was like, yeah, we want to hire you.
Who are you?
Merida, the Scottish one who rides a horse, obviously.
On brand.
So jealous.
I'll have to show you a picture. I'll send a photo because I mean I've got photos.
They had like measurements of how tall you were allowed to be, and I was already over 5'7", and I was so mad about it. I was like, give me Ursula. I'll be anyone.
I'll be anyone, just take me. Yeah. It's an absolute life highlight. But I'd say that was pretty crazy to think, oh yeah, I could be a Disney princess. Let's go.
I love it.
Maybe that's my craziest. I don't know. I think I'm slightly unhinged in many ways.
I think we're all unhinged. We're not.
All right. Okay, I got 2 quick questions I want answered. So this has got to be a quick fire one. When you are, whether you have done it before, whether you're about to do it on a whole other level, when you are speaking on a stage or about to be walking out on your biggest stage yet, what's your entrance song?
Oh my gosh.
I've been thinking.
I feel like some people are like, it's gotta be this, and other people are like, oh, hang on, let me think.
I'm thinking like something Greatest Showman. It does something to my soul.
Oh,
Yeah, I feel that for you.
Look out, 'cause here I come. That one. It would be.
Oh.
Ladies and gents, this is the moment you wait for.
Yeah. That's
that.
Annie's, definitely. That's Annie's walk on, 100%.
Or Annie, I would say that other one that always reminds me of you. Is it Fly or something? The one, no, not Fly.
Fly Away.
Fly Away. That reminds me of you a lot. But I don't know if that's a bit slow. Maybe for like another part of the show. I think mine's Queen, Bohemian Rhapsody.
Yes.
It does something to my soul, that song.
Is that sneak peek of your event? Is that what you're going to walk out to on your event?
Oh, God. Hey, bye, guys. No, joking. No, it's not. Maybe. I do keep playing that. That's the song that's kept me going, so maybe.
Good. Love it.
Chloe, what's yours?
I'm a Greatest Showman girl as well. Like, I think I just had to watch it on repeat when my children were little, because it was not a cartoon. So I was like, what else can we get them into? So I love Greatest Showman. After I went to America, like the Florida playlist, that just ignites me as well. Like Kanye West Power.
Yeah, and that Christina Aguilera one we all wanted. What was it called? It's like Work Bitch.
Oh yeah, Britney Spears. Yeah, you want a hot buddy?
Yeah.
You want a Bugatti? Yeah, I don't know. I guess like I play songs like intuitively. Like I'm currently playing Pink Pony Club on repeat. That's like my song at the moment. So I think it would have to be like what I feel at the time, like what's aligned with my energy at the time. But I love all the classics.
JoJo?
I fear there is no song good enough.
Come on.
Write our own song.
It's like I flip between all the time. Like I'm thinking it's got to it can't just be like it's got to be either like a Barbie themed song or a like burlesque or so. Do you know what I mean? It's got to be something showgirly, something maybe musical. But the problem is, it's also got to be a banger that everyone's going to be like, "This is the tune." Do you know what I mean? So we haven't found one yet, but suggestions welcome. I feel like it needs to be upbeat. One I do love that I don't feel is very me, but it's one that I get vibed up to is Freedom by Beyonce. You know, it's like I feel that could be a great song for somebody else, just not me. So anyone
maybe we should make a playlist.
Yeah.
Beyonce has a vibe.
Beyonce's the vibe.
Power.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll find one. We'll figure it out.
Yeah, I feel that. I think I'm definitely somebody that goes through like eras with depending on what I want my entrance to be or what the energy of the room is like. I don't think I have a song. But I think for me right now, it would be Defying Gravity from Wicked. I'd have to go back to my stage days, as much as part of me is like, but I feel like that, and something has changed within me, like lyric just was right. All right. Final thing, I would love you to leave everyone listening with one sentence that you're like, you need to know this, or I wish someone had told me this. If there is one sentence that you could leave them with, what would that one sentence be?
I can
Anyone ready?
Kick it off. This is quite potent for me at the moment. Your fear of judgment is actually you judging yourself. So do the work on you, and then you can show up unapologetically, unfiltered, and spread your word to the masses.
Ooh.
And that's the gold and navy mic drop.
Mic drop.
Anyone else ready?
That was a good one to start with.
Yeah, I'm like, no, case closed. We end on that.
It doesn't have to be like huge, profound. It can be anything.
I would say mine is your job is not to blend in and be like anybody else on the internet as a coach. Your job is to be the most you that you can possibly be, because that is going to sell harder than anything else. So be a unicorn, unapologetically, own it, live it, exaggerate it, be the most you.
Nice. There's the sparkly rhinestone microphone. Boom.
I do have a pink microphone somewhere, but she doesn't work.
I've got two. Can I have two?
Yeah, sure.
Number one, do the fucking work. Like, literally stop in your head with all these ideas of like, one day I'll do that, one day I do that. Like, just go and do the thing in like now, like right now, after you listen to this. That is one thing that I took so long to do anything for so long, and it's just slowed down everything because I was always trying to be the perfectionist. And as I've started to change that and just started to just run head first and just figure it out as I go, has changed everything. That's the first thing. Second thing is, the more you can think outside the box and do something which is different, you are going to be remembered 100 times over. Like, I want to think of your brand and then think of something that I am sleeping and it comes into my dreams and I think of you. I want to be getting my matcha and I see something on the sign and I think of you. And I just think that is number one, is like, how can I be that like category of one, that different person, and do something which makes no sense but just like disrupts everyone's scroll. Like that.
And there's the line bolt.
Powerful.
Chloe?
So yeah, I probably have two, like Remi. I would say, like, and this is what's really true for me at the moment and has been true for my whole journey, is that like it's so much less about what you do. Like, as a mum, you are so busy, you are doing so much, you are spinning so many plates. Like, it's not about doing more, so it's less about what you do and it's more about who you are and how you show up. It's becoming the version of you that can do those things that you want to do. So it's being you first. And like the second part to that is like jump, because it is the journey that teaches you how to fly. You won't know how it's going to happen, like how you're going to do it, any of those things. Like, the journey teaches you how to do it. You have to jump and you learn along the way.
Aww.
So good. Just absolute. I mean, I knew it would be gold dust, just sprinkled. Sprinkled? That's not a word. Sprinkled all over the entire globe. But this has been absolutely